Unitarian Universalist congregation of Las Vegas is situated on the traditional homelands of the Nuwuvi Southern Paiute people. We are grateful for the land itself, for those who have stewarded it for generations, and for the opportunity to worship, learn, work, grow, and be in community with this land and her peoples. We encourage everyone present here to engage in continued learning about the indigenous peoples who work and live on this land since time immemorial, including the Las Vegas Paiute tribe and the Mawapa Band of Paiutes, and about the historical and ongoing realities of colonialism. It is important to recognize and appreciate the use of Southern Paiute land as part of our mission to be a welcoming and inclusive place for worship, spiritual enrichment, and exploration within the community. Now, please rise in body or spirit and join with me in Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. It's number 361 in the Gray Hymnal. I will be leading it a cappella, and this is an audience participation song. All right, so I know that not everybody likes to sing. So rhythm section is extraordinarily important for making music. So for everybody who doesn't want to sing, who doesn't feel comfortable singing, or who doesn't think that they can multitask and sing and do rhythm section at the same time, this part is for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to build up the rhythm that we're going to be keeping going throughout the whole hymn. So I'm going to do it once. It's an 8-count rhythm, and go ahead and join in whenever you're ready. It goes like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Keep going. Perfect. Now the rest of us are going to come in on the words. Here we go. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ear to the song. Open your ear to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your heart to the dawn. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Thank you, everyone.
My name is Mark Bergtholdt, and I use the pronouns he, him. Today's words we use to light our chalice is called the Chalice Lighting on Belonging, and was written by Reverend Karen LeBlanc. This isn't just a place of worship. This isn't just a fellowship of like minds. This isn't just a Sunday morning filled with spirit and topped off with coffee and cookies. This is our church, our congregation. We are building the beloved community where we are opening ourselves to each other and where we trust and love, rise and fall together. This is where we feel safe. This is where we know we are welcomed. This is where we belong. For this gift and so many others, we light our chalice.
Before I start my wonder gift box, etc., I wanted to make a comment of last Sunday. I was so impressed with this worship team, Nina and Mark and everyone else, on how they put together a terrific service for us. And they have it planned for the next coming weeks to keep us all together. And the thing we have to remember is whatever you come for, you know, if you come for just the sermon, or you come just for coffee, or you come just because your kids have other kids to play with, whatever, we all need this group to exist to help everybody. Because if I just come for the sermon, if no one else is happy, I'm going to be all alone and there'll be no church. We need to be a community and think of every part. So I'm going to ask you to think about what Mark called to action last week. Do you remember? He asked, think about what you can do. We don't all know your talents. We have no idea if you can sing or you can play a guitar or you can read a poem or something. Volunteer to help with a service. I was so moved. I went up to Mark and said, I got an idea for a wonder box. And he said, do it next week. All right. Now that's all I had to do. I had to practice at home. I didn't have to come to a meeting. And I'm going to be part of the service. And hopefully you'll learn something from what I'm teaching you. And, you know, you'll go home saying, hey, I can do something like that. So please just don't let the team behind me that's constantly working and Ariel and Rory, they're all working, and Margaret, to put this place together, and Maggie, please think about what little thing you can do. You don't have to do a whole service by yourself. All right. I just want to make sure that you think about the whole group and how we all have to work together to keep this place alive. I'm thrilled to see so many people out here today. Okay, so now for my wonder box. I see some people clapping like this. If you want to clap, it's like that. Okay. All right, I hope they're going to turn on my mic. I'm not technical. My mic's on now. Are you turning on my mic? Already on. It's on? Yes. All right, I heard Zoom, you can hear me because I talk loud, but Zoom can't hear me. So what do I have, guys, in this box? Bananas. Yeah, bananas. Does everybody see the bananas? Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to keep one, and then I want you to pass them out. That we have several people in the congregation. Okay, so you want to give somebody a banana? Okay. Okay, what here? Want to take the box? And just see the bananas are given out. But don't open your banana or eat it. No. Here. Just give it to people. Somebody in the back there. Somebody volunteer to hold a banana. Somebody else to hold a banana. Somebody else. Ah, back here. Okay, here. See in the back. Right. We'll make sure the bananas are given out. And I will tell you when to open the banana. All right, are all the bananas given out? Somebody else want a banana? You want a banana? You want a banana? Here. You don't. Eat it. What do you want is on your t-shirt? What do you want? Oh, sorry. Mama, you didn't put the strawberry next to it. Okay, so what is special about this banana? This banana, what does the skin do? What does it do? It protects the banana. It changes color as it ages. It gets spots. Some of us know about that. But it gets spots sometimes. Right? Do you eat it frozen ever? I do sometimes when my bananas get too black, I cut them up, put them in the freezer, and it's like eating ice cream. You put a frozen banana in your mouth and it's okay. Now, this is very much like our congregation. This is the skin. When you come into this building, how do you feel? You feel like this is home? You know the building? Yes, this is a building, you feel home. And we have all these people in it. You feel comfortable that there are people there to help you if you have a problem or anything? Yeah, not just mommy, there are other people besides her here. You're muted. I don't know. On and off.
There we go.
Okay, all right, so the Zoom people missed it. Well, that's life, all right. You know, what are we gonna do? All right, so the skin protects the banana. The skin holds the banana together, just like this building holds us together. We feel safe coming in, we know people here, we know where everything is, including the bathroom and all that stuff. But also the people in the congregation are protected by the building. right? And this is a safe place to go. You've got a rug to lie down and pillows and stuff like that. We've got comfortable chairs, etc. And with this banana, if this were the congregation, what would be inside this banana? People, right, exactly. There would be people in it. Now, how would you show people in a banana? What might you do to the banana that if I open it, it looks like there are a lot of people in it? Ah, I heard it. What did you see? Slice the banana? Were you going to say slice the banana? All right. Well, that's what we're going to do. Everybody who has a banana, all right, I want you to hold it like this, all right? And what you're going to do is you're going to repeat after me, UUCLV, slowly, but as you do it, move your hand slightly down the banana. UUCLV. And now what do? We just cut the banana in 5 parts. All right, so now open your banana. And what do you see? Yeah, right? Did you open your banana? Show people around you what the banana looks like. Did you all see it? It's, when you open the banana, it's all pre-cut. Right? Show people the banana. The people in the banana. Show other people the banana. Go ahead. Why don't you take it around and show them? So all the people that were protected by the skin are in the banana. So that is the analogy for our church. We're here as a congregation. We're here as a building. We're here to protect and help each person through this time that we're making a decision on our future. And we need to hang in there and help the place grow. So now, after you finish eating the banana, because I made it in 5 slices so everybody can have a little piece who's around you. Yeah? Okay. So now what I'm asking is if in body and spirit, if you'd like to rise, we're going to sing a hymn. Come sing a song with me.
Did that work? Awesome. Here. Cool. All right, so I would like to tell you a story. And this story is exploring our theme of welcome and actually follows very well with what Betty was just talking about, and how we are all a community and how it is all our job to be welcoming, even if that is difficult. So this is a tale that maybe comes to us from Aesop, and maybe comes to us from the Renaissance, and maybe comes to us from the sands of time. We're not really sure. But let me tell you this story. Would you like to have a seat? You want to stand with me? All right, cool. We'll stand. So once upon a time, there was a castle. And in this castle, there was a cat. And this cat was ferocious. And she was mean, and she was a trickster. But this is not really a story about this cat. This is in fact a story about the mice and the rats that lived in this castle who were terrified of the cat. Can you all show me your terrified faces? You were terrified of this cat. Because the cat would come along and she thought it was hilarious, so much fun to grab a mouse and pin it to the ground and watch it squirm and frightened. She would grab a mouse and she would shove it in her mouth and she would eat it. And slowly but surely, the rats and the mice, their population was beginning to dwindle, and they were terrified and scared out of their minds. And so they decided to call a town hall meeting. And they called this town hall meeting to discuss, what do we do about the cat? And there were many ideas put forth. There was even ideas, maybe we could put poison in the cat's food. But we don't really want to kill the cat. We just want to get rid of the threat of the cat, right? So it was decided maybe that wasn't a great idea. And someone else suggested maybe we should get the dogs involved. right? Maybe we could get them to chase after the cat and protect us and form an alliance. Well, the dogs were pretty lazy, so that didn't end up working out so well. And then there was one who decided, I have an idea. What makes it so that we could hear the cat as the cat is walking around? Do you have any ideas? What could we put on the cat? Oh, microphone. We could put a bell on the cat. That is a good answer. If we put a bell on the cat, then we could hear every time she's coming near, and we'd be alerted and we could run away and hide. That sounds like an amazing idea. So they bought a string to tie the bell on. They found a bell hidden in the back corner, and they got it all ready. And then they ran into a small problem. How were we going to get the bell onto the cat? I will leave you with that question. Maybe, right? And this is really comes to us as a tale of sometimes there are things that are necessary for us to do, especially in the context of, say, our welcoming community. Things that we might need to do that are going to be very difficult, right? And challenging this year. And we'll have to figure out, how are we going to bell this cat? Thank you.
We will now ground ourselves in the present of honor and the thread of humanity that contacts us as a living beings. As humans striving toward a beloved community, we have the privilege and responsibility to hold each other as we live the joys and sorrows of life.
Today, we will partake in a common UU ritual of making our joys and sorrows by dropping a pebble in the water. The pebble signifies a lightness or burden on our heart. The water represents the love and strength of our community to surround, support, and celebrate us. It is not necessary to speak, so we will forego that. There is also a small bowl of lightly scented eucalyptus oil if you would like to anoint yourself to seal this practice. You may lightly dab your wrists or temples, or simply feel the joy of it gliding between your fingers. If you'd like to participate, please line up along the center aisle.
For those on Zoom, you can also participate in this ritual by dropping a small pebble into a container of water, representing the joy of sorrow. We may not see you, but we witness you in spirit.
In addition to that which was spoken, so that's how we'll go. So please come forward if you would like. In addition, we hold up Dan Tausing, Ann Sustick, and Keith McMillan.
Is there anyone in the chat?
Yes, George Early.
To say that these last few years have been a challenge is a little bit of an understatement, right? I'm not sure how many of you have paid attention to what happens with the youth, but I just wanted to share a few things. So the pandemic, of course, was a struggle, right? How do we connect and stay welcoming and meet everybody's diverse needs while we're all online? So that was pretty interesting to go through. But it also helped push us into technology in ways that have been pretty profound and amazing, right? And makes it so that we can include others, right? Hi, everybody on Zoom. It's great to see you all here. And in my previous experience working with the kids, right, I would volunteer to go out there, and it always felt really isolating because you miss out on what's going on in the service and a chance to connect with the other adults, right, that are here. And it always felt really awkward trying to lead whatever activity was out there for me. And the kids might not want to do it with you, and they're kind of just like, right, sort of feeling grumpy. And I just didn't feel like I was meeting their needs or my needs or their sort of like aspirations, right, and goals and the dreams that they had as kids. And part of that was because I didn't feel like I even really knew what they were. So one of the big questions that we're sort of going to be struggling with over this next year, and we've kind of been dealing with these last few years, is how do we truly create a community together where kids and youth feel like they're not just a part of the community, but they have ownership, that they're equals to us as adults, right? They have a say, that they're able to kind of take part in whatever way feels right for them. Because after all, right, if we want this community to truly thrive, we have to consider what our future looks like. And that starts with a really strong investment in our kids. And so when we let them, what I've seen over this last year is what we let them plan, when we let them contribute, when we let them lead, if they're so called to, in these ways that make them feel comfortable, they absolutely shine and grow. And one of my favorite instances is I love telling these stories, right? It's one of my joys in life. And so going back with the kids, we've created this space where we tell stories. And Melody asked, she said, "Hey, can I make a story?" And I said, "Absolutely, you can make a story." And she told the most, I'll have to get her to come tell it one of these days, the most magnificent story about creatures from many different lands and how none of them felt they belonged in their land. And then they traveled together to a magical UU place, and they all felt like they belonged. It was fantastic, right? And so these are the sorts of things that we're kind of pulling out of our kids as we sort of let them be a part of this. And I have another question to kind of shift gears. How many of you have participated in one of our Chalice circles or our small groups? So, right, probably maybe about half of the people that are in here. And for me, that is actually what drew me into this community, was becoming a part of a Chalice circle and getting to have these deep conversations and connections with other individuals, right? And find out about their life experiences and share and connect and grow together. And so we sort of decided as one of the things we would try this last year was something that we called Conversations with Kids, which is basically trying to create a multi-generational Chalice circle experience, right? And so we had questions, and we sort of took the questions and tried to make them not quite so, right, philosophical, brainy, get them a little more down to earth so that they apply to everyone sort of at every level. And then, because of course, our youth get tired of just sitting in one spot. I don't know how many of you can relate as adults. I absolutely get tired of sitting in one spot and listening to someone. We decided we would add an activity in. Not something that is a separate activity that's, taking away the focus, but something that we could do while we're having these conversations, something to keep our hands busy, like crocheting or knitting or coloring pictures, right? Or painting. And so we've been trying this out over the last year. And so as we're getting into our kind of activity today, one of the things that we are going to try, because we're working on how to become a welcoming congregation, is that we have some bags that we're going to pass out, and markers and crayons, and you are welcome to take these. And if you want to write a welcoming message on them or decorate the front of the bag, the idea is that these bags will then be filled with maybe special treats or cards and information about our community so that newcomers who walk through our door have a little something that they can take with them. So if you are up for participating in that, that'll be part of this. So it has gone really well. I've really enjoyed it. And I'm hoping that we can kind of pull everybody in and start doing more of this multi-generational work very intentionally, and really be mindful as you are here this year. Speak up about what you need, right? Speak up about what is important for you, and what, especially if you meet a youth, if you talk to them, what are they telling you, right? And how can we kind of make this all come together this year? So thank you so much for a moment of your time. And now we will do our offer.
We gather as a religious community to give each one of us a place where we can do the work of many. This offering supports the mission of the congregation to be a beacon of love and justice in the desert, and supports local organizations working to make our community a better place for all. The offering this month is shared with the Ukrainian Families Fundraiser, sponsored by the UU in Parker, Colorado. Families have recently taken refuge in the U.S. and Prairie UU are holding a fundraiser so they may continue to offer them financial support. The collection made today will help the families with their needs as they get started. This offering is a spiritual practice of generosity that this organization does each and every week as a whole. Please join us as a member or friend in this practice. For those on Zoom, a link in the chat will be there, and our ushers in the sanctuary will be passing around a plates. And now join with me. With gratitude and abundance in our own lives, we give for the life of this congregation and for the benefit of the larger community.
Small group ministry has been part of the fabric of our community at UUCLV for many years. Like Rory, I got involved with Chalice Circles when I first joined in 2009, and it is a really good way to connect with other people and get to know yourself in another way. So the program consists of groups made up of about 8 to 10 participants, where we explore what we think about topics such as what family means to us, or what we believe happens after we die, or how we deal with change. These groups provide an opportunity to connect with others on a deeper level as participants share their ideas and personal stories about significant life topics. For the format, each session typically starts with a chalice lighting. Then each participant checks in by sharing something they need to release to be present in the space. Sometimes there are quotes or a reading about the topic. Then we take turns answering the discussion questions, ensuring we are listening deeply to each participant and not offering advice or trying to fix anyone's problems. The session ends with the Chalice Extinguishing. If you would like to participate in a Chalice Circle, a good place to start would be the Newcomer Chalice Circle, which meets on the 2nd and 4th Sundays of each month. Today happens to be the 4th Sunday, so we will be meeting in the library behind that what moves us doors right there from noon to 2 p.m. and you're all welcome to join us. So today during service, after I finish talking, we're going to split up into groups in here and have a mini session to give you all a taste of what it's like. We're only going to have about 25 minutes for this activity, so we may not be able to make it through all the questions, but the insert in the order of service has the session plan we're going to be using, and it's most important to make sure everybody in your group has a chance to answer at least one of the questions. So please be mindful when sharing in your group. Each small group creates their own covenant, and to make things easy, we're going to use a sample covenant today. So I think that there's a slide that says the covenants, but I'll read it also. We agree to share or pass when it is our turn, be mindful of the time when sharing, speak only once before everyone in the group has shared, listen deeply and be fully present, refrain from crosstalk, no judging or giving advice, and hold what is shared with confidentiality. So I encourage you to include a young person in your group. After hearing Rory's plug there, that was great. So look around. It's split into groups of about 6. I don't know how many of us are in here. I feel like I should be able to count, but that's stressing me out right now. So maybe someone can help with the logistics, but try to gather yourself into groups of about 6 to 8 or something. Yeah.
It is so great to hear all the voices talking. Thank you. Our church year will be beginning next week. There are many things for us to do to make this a successful year. You can help in a worship service. If you have AV experience or find all those dials and sliders interesting, even if you don't have experience, you can help out with AV on Sunday. We need your help there. You can also help out with religious education. We have a great need there with our growing community of young children, especially those ages 5 to 7. Please see either Rory or Ariel or me if you want more information about that. As you leave the sanctuary today, hopefully you got some stickers to vote on one of the, or two, or just one of the proposed offerings. If you voted last week, that's okay. You get a vote again because you were here twice. We're also studying 2 books about the Havasupai and maybe even make a visit to the reservation. And we're also holding workshops on sermon writing. As you can see, there is a lot of religious education for both the young and the old alike. If you have an idea about improving this church, speak up. You can talk to a worship committee person, the board of trustees, the RE team, if you want to give your peace of mind. Finally, leaning into the call of the land acknowledgement, we are highlighting the Oxsam camp, which is a native prayer camp at Thacker Pass, Nevada, blockading a massive open pit mine. The planned mine would deface a sacred site within one of the mine's project's open pits, irreparably destroying a source of traditional medicine and prayer integral to the surrounding communities. Consider exploring the social media presence of Oxsam Camp, sharing information, or donating your time, treasure, or talents to uplift this important resistance. And now join with me. We release that was called with love and gratitude, and extinguish the flame, but not our commitment to being a beacon in the desert. This burns brightly until we gather again.
Okay. With the start of the new church year, there are many announcements and events this week and the coming weeks. To see them, please head over to our webpage using the QR code that should appear on our screen shortly, or that is in your order of service. Please also, you can join we have a Facebook group if you are on Facebook, and you can get your email on our list if you want our weekly emails as well. So thank you so much, Betty, this morning for our gift box. Maggie for your music, as always. Margaret for leading our songs, and for all the rest of our worship team for creating this service. And most of all, thank you to all of you for being here with us today. Next Sunday will be a very special day. First, join Joanne and Karen and Maggie as we explore social justice work, what we do through Nevadans for the Common Good. And then immediately following the service, we will be doing the dedication for Stella Stoli. So please join us for that.
Today's benediction is called A Theology of Welcome. It was written by Reverend Dr. David Breeden. Let's be the welcome we crave. Open hearts, arms outstretched. Let's embody radical welcome, unquestioning love. Let's be the welcome we crave. Deeply hearing voices and hearts. Let's be the welcome we crave. Enriching and understanding. Let us embody the community we crave. Be at peace, go in love.